seconds I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're joined by Eoghan Cunneen, a visual effects technical director. He's worked on blockbusters such as Nanny McPhee, Harry Potter, and most recently Gravity. Eoghan, you're very welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
What a CV. Gravity, Harry Potter, I mean, you're right up there. How did you get started in visual effects?
Film and the graphic content within film was always an interest to me growing up. I was always interested in art. I was always drawing growing up. Always did art through school. And kind of as I grew older, as these techniques kind of matured, the more computer graphics were being used. As a result of that, I decided to go into and do computer science.
So you've obviously worked on Gravity. I mean, a major blockbuster, George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. Mm-hmm. What was your role in that?
I had quite a varied role in that. It was quite a unique role as far as kind of general visual effects projects go. We were responsible for looking after kind of 90% of the visual effects for the film. We had Alfonso Cuarón, the director. We had Emmanuel Lubezki, the cinematographer, based in Framestore throughout the whole process.
Wow.
The production clients were all based in Framestore, so everything kind of happened within Framestore. So there's like this huge amount of collaboration between the cinematographers and our lighting department and the director and the animators and things like that. So I mean, there's this great kind of like communication between everybody that was there. So what that meant is we encountered this big issue in kind of how were we to simulate this kind of realistic zero-G effect for the characters when they're in space. And it's, you hear the vomit comet, which is used for Apollo 13, which is when the plane rises and falls at quite a high velocity. So you get so you would be kind of suspended in midair for a very short period of time. But Alfonso Cuarón was always interested in these really long shots.
Right.
So for instance, like the opening shot of Gravity is 12 minutes long. And you just wouldn't have people in free fall for 12 minutes. So we came up with this solution where we had to like have our character, whether it was George Clooney or as Matt or Sandra as Ryan, kind of like stationary in this huge light box. So instead of those characters moving around freely in the world, we had them stationary and had the whole world moving around relative to them. So we had to come up with this solution which involved car manufacturing robots with a camera stuck at the end of it and this vast LED cube, which our characters were suspended within. So this LED cube was just like this like huge kind of Jumbotron Vision billboard that you would see on like scoreboards and things like that. So this was like projecting light.
Okay.
So we're like
and the actors are in this?
Yeah, they're suspended in
George
like
and Sandra Bullock in these that you're working with. Wow.
Yeah, so they were suspended in this kind of like mechanical rig that would rotate and tilt and things like that.
Insurance policy quite high.
I would suspect so. And then we're hurtling a camera with a robot attached to it down a track straight at them.
Right. Okay.
So there's a couple of nerve-wracking moments. So I mean Framestore were responsible for kind of coming up with this solution. So it was like this tight collaboration between us and special effects and stunts and making sure that all of this kind of worked seamlessly.
Lots of innovation there, it sounds like.
There's a huge amount of innovation, So I think there was like a year and a half worth of research and development.
Wow.
Before we went out on set.
That's what I was going to ask you next. I mean, how long? I mean, you mentioned the opening scene is like 12 minutes. Like how long a project is a film like Gravity?
Gravity in its entirety was 4 years in production, from very beginning to very end. We were shooting, I think somebody was saying, for 14 weeks, with another couple of weeks then for some reshoots then as well. So the actual shoot period of time was actually dwarfed by the amount of pre-production and post-production stage that was going into it.
Well, it paid off. I mean, for anyone that's seen the film, it's vomit-wrenching and just watching it. So, I mean, you guys, and the Oscar, I mean, it seems to be in the pot line there, touch wood for that one.
Touch wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not curse that one.
Sorry, if I put a bad karma on it. But thanks so much for sharing all your work that you've done.
Thanks for having me.
Great.